This is the Phillies Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Philadelphia Phillies. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome into Locked On Phillies Postcast and the Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. My name is Mark Farzetta. It's great to have you along for the ride, and it is a bumpy ride, unfortunately, because the Phillies bats have gone quiet again. I know they hit 3 solo home runs there in their final game against the Yankees. Nobody on base for that. 2 of those home runs came from Otto Kemp, and as much as I'm rooting for Otto Kemp, I'm not going to bank on a big homer season for him, unfortunately, from that point on. But 6 hits in the ball game today. They failed to get any big hit. They get a 2-run double from Bryce Harper in the early goings of the ball game that was quickly turned around and tied up on Christopher Sanchez's first of 2 ginormous mistakes that he made today. 6 2/3 for Sanchez, allows 4 runs, all earned, and the 2 big mistakes. One came on a hanging slider. The other came on an absolute hanger of a changeup that just never got down in the zone, at least not far enough. Knee level, usually he's dropping it right between the shins, in the middle of the shin, that kind of level, and not his day. And still, just like Zach Wheeler against the Yankees in Game 3, still his not best stuff day is still a pretty damn good outing. Some might even call a near quality start. For both these pitchers. Obviously 1 run more for Wheeler, 1 out fewer. But all in all, I know it's 2 losses. I know the Phillies have won each of their last 2 series, which is obviously a good trend. But this is crunch time. This is Thursday is the trade deadline. Phillies are off that day. I don't know if you saw it or not. Eugenio Suarez tonight got hit in the hand with a pitch. X-rays were negative. Everybody held their breath for a minute. And look, I've told you guys before, I'm not even huge on getting Suarez in here. But here's one thing. Whether you would like to see an on-base guy and great fielder like Kwan in left field, whether you would like to see Kyle Schwarber put out there in left field and Suarez comes in and plays the third base, whatever it is, something has to change with this lineup. Look, I'd love to get another bullpen arm. Would love to get another one other than David Robertson, especially because Seth Johnson, newsflash, he ain't it either. I believe this is now 5 straight games where he's allowed a hit in his appearance, a number of runs along the way also. And I think this is now 6 hits in his last 5 appearances, if not 7. I don't think I counted that infield single. But anyway, it's been a rough go for him as well. Yes, you need help at the back end of the bullpen, but you also need help in this lineup. There are 2 major things that need to happen here. Number 1 is the lineup. Number 2 is the bullpen. The Phillies pitching, for the most part this year, has been absolutely fantastic. The bullpen has been a much bigger question mark. Phillies starting pitching. Let me just be more specific. Phillies starting pitching. But if you're watching this right now and you're Dave Dombrowski, you cannot be resting on your laurels and go, we just need a couple of minor adjustments. No, to hell with that. You need major adjustments here. You need everybody in this lineup to be hitting in a different spot, preferably, if I could have it my way, down in the order a wee bit. And you need somebody in the back end of that bullpen that you can have confidence in, that you can have trust in. Manuel Clase, things have really hit the fan for him, unfortunately, with the Guardians, so he just might be out. There's some other options that are out there right now, but when you talk about the back end of the bullpen, it is that and a bat in this lineup. And if Dave Dombrowski doesn't get both those things at the deadline, then this team is as good as cooked. And the unfortunate thing about this is the huge concern we've had about this Phillies team throughout this entire season will come to fruition. All right, you know what? They're going to be in it. They're going to be in the hunt for the division. They're going to be certainly in the wild card spot, that. But if they don't make significant acquisitions, as in an everyday player in the lineup, not just a platoon, but an everyday player in the lineup, and somebody that's going to be in that you could consider to be a closer, by the way, then then the exact fear that we've had all along. Even me, who people have labeled optimistic simply because I think the Phillies are a playoff team, which means, a wild card team, or maybe they edge out the Mets for the division. Well, even all along that time, the playoffs, sure, but World Series contender, no. NLCS, they need a lot of luck, but I don't see it. the things that haunt us with this Phillies team just continue to haunt us. And it's scoring 8 runs at least in 3 straight games, 12 runs in one, 9 in another. And then all of a sudden, they just go cold. And we've seen it time and time again with this Phillies team. I'm not going to go through the history lesson. I know I've done that a lot throughout the season. I'm not doing it again. We all know what this team has done in the past. And it's not just the fact that they have disappointed, it's how they have disappointed. Offense absolutely goes ice cold. It dries up, whatever you want to call it. Feast or famine. Some people might look at the Suarez acquisition in the idea that the Phillies are able to make that acquisition. And they say, oh, you need to get as many guys in here that can just, be the instant offense and carry a team. Okay. Or you could be the other person that says, well, let's just make sure we get guys on base first and foremost and play some great defense, because that seems to be the biggest difference for this team is when you can back up this offense, or should be this pitching with some great defense. It's a double-edged sword. Double-edged sword. But here's what we all should know right now. Dave Dombrowski, I would doubt that any moves are getting made tonight. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 3 more days left of Dave Dombrowski being the most important person in Philadelphia sports. And it's a brief moment. It's still going to be Howie Rose. It's going to go right back to Howie Roseman after that. But anyway, Dave Dombrowski, this is your time to shine, man. Go earn those great compliments that you get from everybody. Go earn those, please. Oh, Dave Dombrowski, history of being aggressive. One thing I will tell you, I haven't heard anybody else bring this up, but Suarez actually was signed. Eugenio Suarez was actually signed by Dave Dombrowski with the Tigers. For those who didn't know that already, when he was like 16 years old. His, I think it was an international signing. But they go back. They go back a little ways. Okay. I think he's also the guy that traded him too. No, he was gone by then. I think he was gone by then. I think Dombrowski was already gone by then. But anyway, all right. This game was like a dose of melatonin. I didn't fall asleep, but I wanted to, because it was just that terrible. Once again, welcome into Locked On Phillies Postcast and the Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. My name is Mark Farzetta. I got you covered for each and every one of your Locked On Phillies Postcast. Connor Thomas has you covered each and every day with your Locked On Phillies Daily Podcast. Before we go any further, let's get into the player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Locked On Player of the Game for your Philadelphia Phillies. I am going to go with Bryce Harper on this one for a good and a bad. First, the good. Looking at Bryce Harper stepping in that plate in the 3rd inning, base loaded 2 out. Are you going to get anything out of this, Phillies? Bryce Harper puts one of them patented slow rollers into right center field, and he was hustling all the way. The minute that thing gets off the dirt and then immediately onto the grass, Harper knows this is going to be a slow one. I can beat this out. I can stretch this into 2. And sure enough, he stretches it into 2. An extra base hit there for the Phillies. 2 runs across the plate. Just like that, you're up 2-0. Way to go, Bryce Harper. On the hustle double, as I always like to say. Also, just absolutely catching the Chicago White Sox just asleep, really. Then 4 runs across the plate in favor of the White Sox, and none of them answered as the Phillies were done scoring. That would be the only offense in the game for the Phillies. We'll get into Christopher Sanchez's start in a second, but there was one particular instance there with Bryce Harper that I just thought, what the hell are you doing, man? And that came in the 7th inning. Bryce's start led off with a 3-2 fastball up in the zone that he was way late on. The old expression of that pitch arrived on Friday. He swung at it on Monday, that kind of thing. Turner then flew out to right field on a fastball away, 2nd pitch of the at-bat. Schwarber worked a walk, so he got 2 on with 2 outs. Schwarber just walked on 5 pitches. He's going against Leisure out there on the mound, okay? Harper steps up to the plate with a runner on first base. First pitch, police alert! Harper swings out of his shoes on a first pitch fastball that was wildly in and wildly high. I don't know how this pitch did not hit Bryce Harper in the face. And we've seen that happen before. But I do not know how this pitch avoided hitting him. But he swung out of his shoes, strike 1. Now, the reason this sucks in particular is because The next 2 pitches are out of the zone. Right away, you're thinking this should be a 3-0 count. He works it to a 3-2 count. Then he helps out Leisure again by swinging at a 3-2 pitch that was down in the zone. Ends up fouling out to shallow left field. No, I actually think it was third base. Fouling out third base, and that was it. That was the end of doing anything. Just when you think Harper, obviously he's been red hot. He got 2 hits for you today. So very happy with him. But that one particular incident, I just thought, wait, why? Well, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? But when it's your only offense, it's hard to stay. You just can't stay mad at you. You know what I mean? Only offense in the game, unfortunately, for the Phils. Now, as far as the turning point in this,
time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Robert steps to the plate. Robert Jr., that is, excuse me. Robert Jr. steps to the plate in the 4th inning. Now, I mentioned Christopher Sanchez had some struggles, and really they were few and far between. He did not have a horrible start, but made 2 horrible mistakes. The first one was to Montgomery. That was the first 2-run home run of the game. It was a 1-1 slider. That was just a please hit me baseball out over the middle of the plate. He didn't miss it. 385 feet to right field. 2-2 game after you took a 2-0 lead in that very same 3rd inning. So now fast forward to the 4th inning when Robert Jr. stepped to the plate. So here's the way that worked out. Vargas gets a 1-out single. Benintendi then steps up and he grounds into the 6-4 fielder's choice. You got 1 on, you got 2 outs in the inning. Make something happen here. Christopher Sanchez. Well, he throws a 2-1 slider to Robert Jr., and this one just stayed up enough. By Sanchez's standard, it was absolutely hung. Robert did a good job it was on the outer half of the plate, did a good job with the plate coverage, and just dropped the barrel on it, and the ball just kept flying. Castellanos kept tracking back to the wall, just over the wall for a 2-run home run and a 4-2 White Sox lead. Lowly White Sox lead, by the way. So, all right, 4th inning. You're going to have some magic happen, right? No. After that turning point, there was no turning back for the Phillies. You would see Brandon Marsh step up to the plate in the 6th inning with a single to right center field. And with 1 out, Kemp would ground into the 6-4 fielder's choice. They'd go to the bullpen. Kepler would fly out to left field, and that would be the end of that. And by end of that, I mean, that would be the last base knock the Phillies would have as an offense. Whoopity-doo. We're having ourselves a great time. Yeah, this one dragged. This one certainly dragged tonight. As far as what you'll be talking about tomorrow, we're going to talk about that in a second when we return. This is Locked On Phillies Postcast on the Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. Back after this. Let me tell you about Monarch Money. You guys taking advantage of all Monarch Money has to offer. Let's say you got young kids you want to save for college, right? Let's say you just moved in with your significant other. You just got married, whatever the case might be. Monarch Money can help you with your finances. That's incredible. That's how incredible Monarch Money is. Monarch Money is more than just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts and investments and spending in one place. So in addition to managing your money, you're also building wealth. Doesn't that sound nice? Take control of your finances with Monarch Money and use promo code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com with promo code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year at monarchmoney.com. And how about Game Day Hue? How awesome is this? Maybe you're going to be in the office. Maybe you're going to be out and about. You want to wear your team colors, but, you don't want to make it look like everything's leisure time. You know what I mean? So you want to wear something that might be right for the office, right for the golf course, whatever it might be, but you always want to fly your team's colors. That's where Game Day Hue comes into play. Game Day Hue makes clean, no logo gear with team-inspired colors. How amazing is that? For every pro and college fan base. It's all about letting your colors speak for you. No giant logos, just smart, versatile style that works on game day, on the golf course, and maybe casual Fridays or what have you. Anywhere in between as well. So what you can do is you can take advantage of all they're offering right now, especially 15% off. That's right. Right now, you can get 15% off with promo code MLB15 at GameDayHue.com. That's GameDayHue.com. Use that promo code MLB15. The code even stacks on bundle deals. So now's the time to load up at GameDayHue.com. Let your colors talk, because colors speak louder than words. That's GameDayHue.com with promo code MLB15. All right. Before we go any further, let's get into what I think you'll be dipping into tomorrow.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Dombrowski! Dave Dombrowski! That's what I think we'll be talking about tomorrow. Oh, and you might be talking about Bryce Harper telling Rob Manfred to get the get out. Get out of there. Get out of here. You want to talk about the salary cap? Why don't you get out of it? Oh, they shook hands afterwards. Oh, did they? Nick Castellanos quoted saying he managing a baseball team's like owning a nail salon. Owning a baseball team's like owning a nail salon. Like, easy, please. Those are some things we might be talking about tomorrow. You might be talking about the meatballs that Christopher Sanchez threw. It's going to happen. You might be talking about the Phillies offense coming back down to earth. I think that'll be kicked around a wee bit. You might be talking about how Seth Johnson ain't in, and hopefully Dave Dombrowski actually does something at the deadline. Yeah, that's what I think will be kicking around tomorrow. Good times. Let's get into the chat. Check and see how wonderful people are doing on this fine evening, despite the fact that the Phillies decided to be terrible at baseball today. It's official. I'm a Nicky Nips hater, says Seabrook. Take a look at the pitch location. Somebody needs to tell me how the hell this guy is hitting 460 whatever when swinging at the first pitch, because I don't see it. I don't see it. Like, for every hit he gets on a first pitch, I feel like I see at least, 5, 6 outs or misses. Does it only count when he puts the ball in play? What are we doing here? Anyway. Hey, Graham Francis. Hey, mate. What's going on? Always concerned when we play teams who have been struggling this series against the White Sox. Not a walk in the park, as we're finding out. We have a history of dropping those games, playing down to their opponents. Graham Francis. And so it goes. And so it goes. My boredom is palpable, says JDM. You're saying this about the game, not this show, right? Just making sure. Morgan Landy, why can't we have nice things? Wheeler now. Sanchez giving up 4 runs apiece. No, not ideal. No. Joseph Grillo, I want to like Nicky double pepperonis. But it's his fault I have agita. Just when I thought I wasn't going to laugh harder than double pepperonis, you just threw agita in there, man. You and I are like-minded, Joseph. You and I are like-minded. I, too, have agita. JDM, what a clown show. Pretty much. Here's the deal. All right. You're looking at the Seth Johnson outing there in the 8th inning there. Montgomery hits the hard hit ball off Harper's mitt. Now, some might say, oh, come on, Harper. Well, Harper is a great defensive first baseman. All right. For him to even get a mitt on a ball that Seth Johnson just went, oh, hey, here's a ball and a tee. Would you like to hit it, Mr. Montgomery? And a whammy. And he slams it up the first base line. Harper gets the mid on it, comes down in front of him, hits off the base, and then they're just helpless after that for the 6th run of the ball game there for the White Sox. John getting dazzled by a 2-8 pitcher, or 2-8 pitcher, geez, on a team at 30 games under 500. Yeah, this sucks. Jerry Von Skyver, hey, man, what a joke this team is. The Mets are on the verge of taking over this division. I guess Dombrowski is too busy sitting on his hands. Why did Topper take Lazar out? Seth Johnson sucked. Yeah, I am very curious about why all of a sudden Max Lazar is a 1-inning pitcher. Like, I felt like, especially earlier in the year, like, was that his trial run? I'll have to find this out because I've been thinking about this. Earlier in the year, it felt like, and really throughout his brief career, I feel like they've been using him for more than 1 inning. June, he had 3 games where he got more than 3 outs. May, 2 of his 3 appearances, he pitched almost into 3 innings. In May, once pitched more than 2, or at least 2 innings twice. And now, I guess, since they discovered they have something worthwhile, they want to use him as a specialty guy. Excuse me, not specialty, high leverage. He only has 1 outing this month, and that was against San Diego back on the 2nd, where he pitched more than an inning. Yeah, what are we doing here? He's allowed 2 earned runs this month. Yeah, I'd like to have him in more. An ERA of 2. He's got an ERA of 2 this month. Yeah, more of him. Jeremy, you and I are thinking the same thing. Joseph Grillo, Phillies $244 million payroll. White Sox 141. At least we won that. There you go. Spending that money. Sir Sketchable, hello. That dude making that wild out throw to first probably saved the game for himself. Yes, hold on. Thank you for that. That was on Castellanos, unfortunately. That was Davis Martin coming up with that play on Nick Castellanos. That was absolutely insane. Real Muto got robbed. A great catch there. Diving catch by Robert Jr. in center field, I think it was. Camp had the changeup. Yeah, 5th inning. Stott led off with the walk on 4 pitches. Turner grounds into the 5-4-3 double play. Schwarber walks on that weird exchange with him and Martin, the pitcher. That was odd. Harper got the single. So now you got 2 on, 2 outs. Nick Castellanos grounds out on that comebacker. I think he worked, full count. Got a sinker in on the hands. Topped it back to Martin. Martin made the play, stumbling, bumbling, but not fumbling. Popped up and threw a strike to first base to just beat Nick Castellanos. That was wild. That was pretty wild. Philly Nate, oh crap, return of the jet lag is back, right? Jeremy Horn, why the hell did we only get one batter? I don't know. Jeremy, these are the questions I ask myself as well. It's a legit question. Thank you. Joel Elvers, hello. I haven't been this upset about a loss since they got swept by the Pirates. Absolutely pathetic. Yeah, that's pretty good. Performance, absolutely pathetic performance today. Wait a minute. Philly Nate, dude, we are literally talking about hotel rooms on Phillies postgame. Farzy, help. What? Oh, boy, oh, boy. 500 team, Johnson, in June and July. Having a great time. We're all having a great time. Timothy B. Farzetta, Dombrowski has 3 more days to shake up this team. Please, it needs to be a shakeup. Significant moves need to be made. If we read tomorrow that the Phillies just added some middle relief guy, I'm like, well, they should have done that on Ed Wade Day because that was Ed Wade's classic move. Just get some aging middle reliever. Anyway, I digress. Ed Wade catching strays. Anyway, this team needs to change. The lineup needs to be changed. And so help me God, nothing will make me hit the rage button more than we know we're going to get Alec Boehm back, and that's going to be like a trade, like an acquisition. You know, we added Otto Kemp from our own minor league system, production from within. You know that scene in Anchorman when the lovely Christina Applegate says to Will Ferrell, Veronica Corningstone, and Ron Burgundy, if you will. And she says to him, "You have bad hair." And he goes, "What did you say?" And his eyes shoot up flames, right? That's how I'll be looking at Dave Dombrowski if Friday rolls around and the Phillies have that weekend series with the Tigers, of all teams, and they are the same team. Phillies didn't make a trade. What did you say? It's going to drive me bananas. I don't want Robert Jr. For the record, I don't want him. I know he hit the home run today. Whoopity-doo. No thanks. Take Robert Jr. over. Well, okay, that I would take, but I don't think they're going to give him up to you for Johan Rojas. Sanchez's ERA. Wah, wah. Nick needs to be traded now. Awful plate appearances, says Madison. Just a mediocre team. Dave, what's going on? Trading the future will be a mistake, thinking you can tweak the team. Oh, it's a really large investment. And I really think that ownership wants to see this, no pun intended, into the mitt. And they're going to do everything they can to try to get this core over the hump. That's why look, if I could fish a wish, the guy I want is Stephen Kwan. I want him in left field for this Phillies team. I want Kyle Schwarber staying as the cleanup hitter. Or excuse me, staying as the he would be the cleanup hitter in this lineup. Stephen Kwan, Gold Glove outfielder, gets on base, can hit for average, hits lefties 260, 270. I'll take that in this lineup certainly. And a guy looking to get on base and a guy that'll work a count. I'll take that. That would be my Fisher-wish scenario. I did mention that X-rays were negative on Suarez. Yes. Jeremy Horn Robert is garbage. Yeah, I'm not a fan. 500 ball isn't what we paid for, right? Seth took a more solid. All right, thank you for that. Yeah, if the Phillies are bounced out again early in the playoffs, which is what's going to happen right now with this team. Topper's not back next year. They didn't give him some 3-year contract extension. He's donezo with a year of vacation, paid vacation. Wait, Evelyn. What's up, Evelyn? Terrible travel team. Days return. Ugh, this team. I see Jeremy. Jet lag. Yeah, no, we're not serious when we say this. It's just that whenever they travel, even if it's for 20 minutes, it just feels like they suck. Appreciate everybody in the chat. You guys are great. Wait, Carrie, this game is why it's hard to fully get on board with this team. I hear you. Thanks to everybody in the chat. You guys are great. As per usual, here's what we got going on tomorrow. Phillies are back at it. Another 7:40 start time. Hopefully that one won't drag. Jesus Luzardo. Now, which Jesus Luzardo will it be? Will it be the one that's really good at throwing baseballs, or will it be the one that's really bad at throwing baseballs? Or will it be both in the same game, as we have seen recently? Oh, wow, he's got it again. No, he doesn't. Oh, he really looks like he's figured it out. Home run. He'll go against Jonathan Cannon. Jonathan Gannon. Now that'd be something. Pew, pew. Jesus Luzardo, 8-5 with a 4.58 ERA. Cannon, also, he is a right-handed pitcher, but he's also got a 4.48 ERA. Ain't that something? But he's 4-7 on the season. In case you missed the open of the show, the Phillies lost to the White Sox 6-4. The Phillies are if you don't believe they're a playoff team, I think you have to admit that they're going to be they're going to be in the hunt in September for a playoff spot wild card, most likely. That's what I think you have to be. By the way, the Mets are up 1-0 right now on the San Diego Padres in San Diego. That's 2 Anchorman references in one show. That's fun. But anyway, that's what they got going on tomorrow. Phillies, 7:40 start time. Cannon versus Luzardo. We're all having a good time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Make sure you guys hit like and subscribe on Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. That's Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. Seth Bass, Seth Bass, Turk Wendell, and Wendy Chavez. Yes, Wendy Chavez. Excuse me. I'm thinking the same thing you are. Thank you. Thanks to everybody in the chat. You guys are great. Catch you guys tomorrow. Until then, let's hope the Phillies can bounce back then. Bye.